The ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran, which has escalated dramatically in these past few weeks of June 2025, is not just a battle of missiles versus interceptors, it is a complex war fought in the shadows, deep inside Iranian territory. For Israel, neutralizing Iran's missile threat is a matter of national survival. For Iran, its vast arsenal of ballistic missiles represents its primary tool for projecting power and deterring its adversaries. The recent missile barrages on Tel Aviv and Beersheba, where over 40 missiles were launched on June 22 alone, show how critical this fight is. The key to understanding Israel's strategy lies in a simple yet audacious concept. If you cannot stop every arrow in the sky, you must find and destroy the archer on the ground. This strategy begins not with fighter jets but with spies and secret agents. For years, intelligence operatives from Mossad have been painstakingly working to establish a clandestine network within Iran. This is not the stuff of movies. It is a slow, methodical process of smuggling and concealment. Drone components, wings, engines, explosives, and guidance systems are broken down into small, innocuous parts. They are hidden in ordinary-looking suitcases, tucked away in the false bottoms of commercial trucks, or mixed in with legitimate cargo inside large shipping containers arriving at Iranian ports. This long-term effort has allowed Israel to secretly pre-position the building blocks for a ghost army, right under the nose of Iran's powerful Revolutionary Guard. The teams responsible for this daring operation are small, highly trained, and often composed of local assets cultivated over many years. These cells remain dormant, sometimes for months or even years, waiting for the signal to act. Their mission is to receive the smuggled components and transport them to secret workshops hidden in plain sight, perhaps in the basements of city apartments, or in remote, unassuming warehouses in the countryside. There, they assemble the drones and other remote-controlled weapons, like the lethal Spike precision-guided missiles. These secret bases become forward operating posts, transforming the vast expanse of Iran from a fortress into a porous battle space where the enemy is already inside the gates. The activation of these internal assets is a crucial first step in Israel's complex attack sequence. Long before the first Israeli F-35 Yadir stealth fighter even approaches Iranian airspace, these hidden teams are given their orders. They are the tip of the spear, tasked with surgically striking the most critical and sensitive elements of Iran's air defense network from within. This inside-out approach is designed to sow chaos and confusion, making it incredibly difficult for Iranian commanders to understand where the attack is coming from. It creates a paralyzing sense of vulnerability, suggesting that no part of their defense system is safe, not even deep within their own borders. This internal threat forces Iran to fight a war on two fronts, against external air power and against an invisible enemy within. Once the covert teams are in position, the next phase of the operation unfolds with breathtaking speed. The goal is to blind Iran's air defense system, effectively making the giant deaf and dumb before the main assault begins. The locally assembled drones are the primary tool for this task. Small, cheap, and numerous, they are launched in swarms from their hidden bases inside Iran. These are not sophisticated high-altitude drones, but often simple first-person view drones, which are incredibly precise and difficult to detect. They fly low and fast, targeting the delicate electronic eyes of Iran's defense network, its early warning radar stations. By taking out these radars, Israel creates massive blind spots in Iran's coverage, opening up safe corridors for its incoming strike aircraft. Simultaneously, another silent attack is launched, this one in the digital realm. Israeli cyber warfare units, among the most advanced in the world, unleash a torrent of malicious code aimed at Iran's military command and control systems. This is not about simply shutting things down, it is a more subtle and devastating form of warfare. The cyber attacks can manipulate the data that Iranian operators see on their screens, feeding them false information about incoming threats. They might show phantom jets in one area to draw defensive fire, while the real attack comes from another direction. Or they can sever communication links between radar sites and the missile batteries they are supposed to guide, rendering the expensive launchers useless. This digital onslaught is complemented by powerful electronic warfare tactics. As Israeli jets, particularly the F-35 Yadir and specialized F-16 Isufa fighters, approach Iran, they engage in a sophisticated electronic battle. These aircraft are equipped with advanced pods that can jam Iranian radar frequencies, overwhelming their sensors with electronic noise. This jamming makes it nearly impossible for Iranian systems to get a clean lock on the incoming Israeli planes. The goal of this combined drone, cyber, and electronic warfare assault is what military planners call suppression of enemy air defenses, or SEAD. It is a systematic effort to dismantle the network, not just the individual missile launchers. The effect of this multi-pronged strategy is devastating for Iran's defenders. Their systems, many of which are based on older Russian and Chinese designs, are highly vulnerable to these modern tactics. The Iranian commanders are suddenly faced with a nightmare scenario. Their radar screens are either blank or filled with lies, their communication lines are dead, and small kamikaze drones are exploding on their positions, seemingly out of nowhere. This orchestrated chaos creates a crucial window of opportunity, a free highway to Tehran, as Prime Minister Netanyahu recently described it. It is during this period of induced paralysis that Israel's main aerial force can begin its deadly work with a much lower risk of being intercepted. With Iran's air defense network effectively blinded and in disarray, the heavy hitters of the Israeli Air Force begin their assault. The first wave is led by the F-35 Yadir, Israel's state-of-the-art stealth fighter. These jets are designed to be nearly invisible to what remains of Iran's functioning radar systems. Their mission is to penetrate deep into enemy territory and take out the highest value targets, the strategic command centers, the most advanced surface-to-air missile batteries like the S-300, and key nodes of the military communication network. By eliminating these central nervous system components, Israel ensures that Iran's ability to mount a coordinated defense is completely shattered, not just temporarily suppressed. Once the stealth fighters have cleared the path and further degraded the remaining threats, the second wave of the attack begins. This wave consists of Israel's workhorse aircraft, the F-15I Ra'am and F-16I Sufa jets. While not as stealthy as the F-35, these planes are formidable fighting machines capable of carrying a much heavier payload of bombs and missiles. Now that the risk of being shot down has been significantly reduced by the suppression of enemy air defenses campaign, these jets can fly more freely and deliver massive firepower onto their targets. They focus on the more numerous and widespread elements of Iran's offensive capability. The ballistic missile launchers themselves, both in their fixed silos and the mobile units that Iran uses to hide its assets. The targeting process is relentless and dynamic. The Israel Defense Forces employ a vast network of intelligence assets including satellites, signals intelligence, and human sources on the ground to conduct real-time battle damage assessment and find new targets. As soon as a mobile missile launcher is detected moving to a new firing position, its coordinates are relayed to the strike aircraft circling overhead. This hunt for mobile launchers is critical, as Israel claims to have already destroyed more than half of Iran's launch capacity in this conflict. This attritional warfare is designed to cripple Iran's ability to sustain the large, saturating missile salvos that are needed to overwhelm Israel's own multi-layered air defenses. This combination of stealthy initial strikes followed by heavy, sustained bombing runs is a classic air power doctrine executed with modern precision. The use of cheaper, more abundant guided bombs by the F-15S and F-16S allows Israel to prosecute a wide range of targets without rapidly depleting its most expensive and sophisticated munitions. The strategy is ruthlessly efficient. Use the most advanced tools to kick down the door, then use the most powerful tools to destroy everything inside. This systematic destruction of Iran's missile infrastructure from the air, enabled by the covert and electronic warfare that precedes it, forms the core of Israel's kinetic response to the Iranian threat. Beyond the physical destruction, Israel's strategy incorporates a powerful psychological dimension aimed directly at Iran's military and political leadership. The very idea that Israeli drones and strike teams are operating from within Iran is designed to create a profound sense of paranoia and distrust. Every explosion that occurs deep inside the country, far from the borders, sends a chilling message: you are not safe anywhere. This tactic amplifies the kinetic effects of the strikes, creating a narrative of Israeli omnipresence and Iranian incompetence. It forces the Iranian regime to look for enemies within its own ranks, diverting precious resources to internal security and counterintelligence, and sowing discord among its commanders. Israel further exploits this by using deception and strategic ambiguity. It will often create false narratives or leak misleading information to prevent Iran from accurately predicting the timing or location of the next strike. For example, diplomatic chatter might be amplified to suggest a pause in operations, lulling Iranian forces into a lower state of alert right before a major attack. This constant guessing game is mentally exhausting for Iranian decision-makers and increases the likelihood of fatal errors. The goal is to disrupt their OODA loop, observe, orient, decide, act, by injecting so much uncertainty and false information that they become paralyzed, unable to make effective decisions until it is too late. The effectiveness of these tactics is heavily dependent on the inherent weaknesses within Iran's defense posture. Much of Iran's air defense architecture is a patchwork of systems from different eras and countries, making it difficult to integrate into a single, coherent network. Older Russian-made systems are particularly vulnerable to modern electronic and cyber warfare, a weakness Israel has exploited repeatedly. Furthermore, the success of Mossad's infiltration highlights significant lapses in Iran's internal security, suggesting that corruption or disaffection may provide openings for foreign intelligence agencies to operate with a surprising degree of freedom. These vulnerabilities are the cracks in Iran's armor that Israel's strategy is designed to break wide open. In summary, Israel's multi-layered strategy is a masterful integration of old-fashioned espionage, cutting-edge technology, and psychological warfare. By first establishing a covert presence, then blinding Iran's sensors with a combination of drones and cyber attacks, and finally delivering overwhelming air power, Israel has managed to gain what it calls control of all of Iran's skies. However, risks remain. As the June 22nd attack on Tel Aviv showed, Iran's arsenal is vast, and some missiles will always get through. Moreover, Israel is expending its own advanced interceptors at an alarming rate. This complex and deadly chess match is far from over, and its outcome will shape the future of the entire Middle East.
So hit that subscribe and ring that bell too, for history's wonders waiting for you. Billy at Works, let the knowledge ignite, exploring the past with all of our might.